It's happening. I'm live. It's happening and I'm live. Can't believe it. I can, but it's happening. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor said. Hello. Whew, it's happening and I'm live. It's been a long time. Whew, remove all negative energy from these cards and replace them with peace, positivity, and protection. Remove all negative energy from these cards and replace them with peace, positivity, and protection. Now, don't you worry. We are going to be reading a book, but, you know, you might as well set the mood right with pulling a card while we're waiting on folks to get here. I appreciate y'all being here. Hello. Whew. I would love to get a card that sets the tone for reading what Miss Taylor said and the future of reading what Miss Taylor said, because we're in here. I would love to get a card that sets the tone of reading what Miss Taylor said and the future of reading what Miss Taylor said. Let me share it with y'all. Hello on Facebook. Hello on Facebook. Hello on Instagram. I'm so glad that y'all are here. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back. If y'all see me look over here, it's because I have a mirror right here so I can see my face, because I also need to be present with myself. And it's really important that I'm present with myself. All right. Ooh. Let me make sure this is my card. This is my card. Yeah. I just got a text message that I don't need to deal with right now. And I hope that it does not result in a phone call coming through and interrupting the live. So this card, like I said, I'm just pulling a card to set the tone of reading what Miss Taylor said, because this is not a new show. This is episode 71, if we're being honest, even though we've had a break and everything like that. This is episode 71, to be clear, and we're just back into what we're doing. So I appreciate everybody that comes in. I appreciate everybody that watches, whether you watch for 5 seconds or you come back and watch the replay. However you do it, however you engage, whatever you get from this, I'm just thankful that you're here, and I'm thankful that you are lending your ears and your energy. The card that I just pulled is Become a Wonder Hunter. It has a bunny on it, and as you can see, I'm using a ring light right now. And that's number 32. That's hilarious that that's number 32, because I turn 32 next week. Number for that is 32, and it says, your ability to withstand the mundane and sometimes brutal realities of this world is in equal proportion to how well you willingly court wonder. A wise woman once taught that our work in the world is to pay attention, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished. Now is the time to intentionally create a space for wonder. When your heart is full of awe, it becomes a magnet for the magic that lives all around us, but is rarely glimpsed. It's time to become its partner. Embrace enchantment. And that's what I'm going to do. Welcome in. Welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor said. This is episode 71, but it's been a while since we've been here. We haven't been here since April. Yes. I don't know if y'all can hear the bird outside, but I appreciate every single one of y'all being here. I started this show in November of 2020 in an effort to accomplish a few goals. One of those goals being that I would like to read the books that are in my collection. I really would like to finish the books that I have and that I own. I also have myriad of things that I would like to do that are in the public eye, and that includes public speaking. So I wanted to do this so that I could practice public speaking and reading aloud in front of an audience, because I plan on reading teleprompters, scripts, speeches, talks, all kinds of things I want to read. I essentially want to read in front of other people, and that's what I plan on doing. So I started reading what Miss Taylor said so that I could do that, so that I can practice reading in front of people. And I wanted to engage with an audience more. I wanted to get more practice engaging with people that are watching me. So I appreciate every single one of y'all being here. I appreciate all of y'all being here. If you would like to donate to me, to what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing. I'm also in massage school right now, so if you want to donate to me for any reason, whether it's because you get something out of what we do today, whether it's you want to help me with school or whatever, my Cash App is the # MissTaylorSaid. Okay? So, the book that we are reading is a book that I've been wanting to read for years, literally. I got this book back in 2018 or 2019, and I didn't read it. I ended up gifting it to another person. But they did not, I don't remember if I let them borrow it or I gifted it to them, but it ended up in somebody else's hands, and I had to get myself another copy. But this is something that I feel like I've been practicing to change over the years, but it doesn't hurt to read something about it. And because I have been working on it actively, it'll be great to share this with other people, and I feel like it'll be a great book to get us back into the groove of things. So thank you for being here again. Welcome to Reading with Miss Taylor Said, if this is your first time. What I do is I read books on live and I talk about them. And the books we've read have been The 4 Agreements, The Mastery of Love, Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols, and we've also read Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. So this will be book number 5 officially, because I've tested a couple of other books and I either didn't like them or they just didn't align with what we do here at Reading with Miss Taylor Said. But this book is called Anxious to Please. 7 Revolutionary Practices for the Chronically Nice by James Rapson and Craig English. It's called Anxious to Please, 7 Revolutionary Practices for the Chronically Nice. All right? And we're going to go ahead and get into it. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's see. The introduction is called An Epidemic of Nice People. There's a quote that says, "The hand moves and the fire's whirling takes different shapes. All things change when we do." Kukai. If it were a disease, it would headline newspapers and magazines. There would be support groups across the country. Telethons would raise money for research and treatment. An 800 number running at the bottom of the screen. Public service announcements would detail the list of symptoms so that people could recognize the condition and seek help as soon as possible. Constant anxiety, crippled self-esteem, depression, disruption of family relationships, futility in the workplace, obsessive thoughts, constant need for reassurance, undermined romantic intimacy. In the silent affliction of our day, it is the silent affliction of our day. As many as 30 million people in the U.S. alone suffer from the particular form of anxiety that underlies this condition, even though the condition is both preventable and treatable. It is an epidemic of nice people. The nice list. So, you may be a nice person if you are always longing for something or someone. If you feel worried or fretful so often it seems normal. If you often don't know what you want. if you're always thinking about what you wish you had said, if you constantly second guess yourself, if you apologize frequently, especially for things you are not responsible for, if you take what you're given instead of asking for what you want, if you are often preoccupied with what other people think of you, if you are frequently surprised that other people don't reciprocate your goodwill, if you do favors for people with the secret hope they will reciprocate, if you are more prone to feel sorry for yourself than to take action and fix a problem, if you tend to give more than you get, you might be resentful about this. If it seems that other people get the attention or acknowledgement, if it seems like other people get the dates, maybe your friends tell you you're a great catch. If your emotional state mirrors your partner's, if your partner isn't happy, you aren't happy. The ways and means of nice people. Most people are nice, at least part of the time. We live in a world that encourages niceness, even enforces it. A person has to know how to follow the rules, play well with others, and rub folks the right way in order to succeed. It helps if he or she can smile and be gracious under duress. I'm going to go ahead and stop right there because, wow, I'm excited about reading this book now. I'm excited. At first, I was hoping that it wasn't going to be, and I know I'm not even a full chapter in, but I'm excited about reading this because these are things that I still kind of deal with. Like, again, I'm shaking them off. I'm in the process, but I also know that there are still things in here that I'm struggling with, and especially the it helps if they can smile and be gracious under duress. Baby, the way that I spend my time, I have spent my time. I have literally, if you're new here, you may not know this, but a lot of people, if you're following me, you probably know this. I have experienced a lot of abuse in my life. And one of the things that I have done, and things that the compliment I've gotten so often, is that I handled it with so much grace. I handled it with so much class. Grace and class have been the thing that just, I wish I could rid myself of grace and class, not because they're not beneficial to have so that you are even tempered and everything like that, but grace and class have been so forced upon me that I will take, or in the past, I would take abuse and mistreatment and just, well, I'm fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. And everything is okay. And I hope that they're fine. Grace and class. I'm sick of it. I'm truly sick of it. So we're going to get out of that together. All right, y'all ready? There's a story up here. There's an example. At the company picnic, Tom loiters at the edges of the boisterous group, a grin pasted on his face, frequently interjecting an ill-timed quip or a too long anecdote. Hannah is fussing around the food, making sure there will be enough for everyone and offering help where none is needed. Shelly has been talking for the past hour about Sean, whom she dated a year ago but can't get out of her mind. Roberto has found his familiar place, watching the kids and anxiously monitoring his wife's mood. Dozens are more appeasing, yearning, clinging, and fretting their way through an all too typical afternoon. Wow, all of that sounds familiar to me. So what's wrong with being nice? Nothing. In the right context, being nice makes life more pleasant and can help things flow more smoothly. Nice people go further than this. They can't quite help themselves. They have to be nice. They are nice whether it's called for or not. They are nice when being ignored or even insulted. They are nice when they want someone, everyone, to like them. They overfunction, overadapt, over-apologize. They navigate their world by accommodating and acquiescing, by trying to please. When things aren't working, they try harder. And most of the time, they're trying harder to be nice. Nice people traits. Here are some nice people traits, okay? Anxious to please, especially the central people in their life, their parents, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend. They show anxiety in relationships by clinging, ingratiating, and over-adapting. Give me a moment. I'm pretty sure there's a dictionary up here. This is a word finder. Does the word finder give definitions? Yes. Let's look up ingratiating. Because I don't know. I love this. I love this. I love this. Ingratiating. We're about to learn a new word today, folks. Ingratiating. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. No, we went too far. Ingratiating. An ingratiating manner. Winning, engaging, captivating, personable, likable, magnetic, attractive, appealing, enchanting, congenial, winsome, persuasive, charming, amiable, genial, pleasing, cordial, affable, sweet, lovable, gracious. So gracious. Yeah. Another context, it says, his smile is phony and his voice sickeningly ingratiating. Unctuous, gushing, oily, Elysian. Child, I don't know that word. We're going to be learning a lot of words together, y'all. So basically, you being nice and faking the funk. Ingratiating. I'm so glad to learn a new word. I love this. Welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor Said, where we learn and we grow. And that's what we do here. And I'm so thankful that y'all are here. Welcome. All right. Now that we've learned a new word, nice people traits. One includes show anxiety in relationships by clinging, ingratiating, and over-adapting. Overly concerned with what others think of them. They are continually surprised when they are rejected. Don't have good judgment about when to disclose thoughts or emotions and to whom. They minimize the faults, flaws, and dangers of people they are attracted to or involved with. Will often minimize their unhappiness and tell others that they are much happier than they really are, and they are out of touch with the full range of their anger and aggression. Whew. Read me for filth, why don't you? I'm just going to take a sip of water on that because... Wow, they might as well have said Libra traits and then gone through all of that. But that ain't me. That's not how we doing. That's not how we doing it. Welcome in. Welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor Said. We are reading Anxious to Please, 7 Revolutionary Practices for the Chronically Nice. And we're trying to figure out how to define a nice person. Nice people. Okay? Oh, man. It feels good to be back, and I'm also kind of glad that I'm back at the same time that all the other shows are back, like the other talk shows like Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers and John Oliver. I mean, I didn't name their shows, I named the people, but still, I'm glad to be back. We're back. This is Reading what Miss Taylor Said. And what Sha'Carri said, actually, Sha'Carri Richardson, that's my girl right there. But she said, I'm not back, I'm better. I'm better. I'm just going to pull over real quick and just share that I am better. I feel better. I'm doing better. I've gone through so much this year. I've gone through so many changes. And I know every year I get on this show and I come up here and I'm like, y'all, I've been through so much this year. But like, I was jokingly saying recently that I was like, you know how, so we get, they say, the woo-woo girls, the spiritual girls, they say that, before we come into this world, we sign a contract. Our spirit signs a contract that Our spirit signs a contract agreeing to all the things that we're going to go through in this life. And I'm like, if I signed a contract, I would like to hire a lawyer. I would like to hire a spiritual lawyer. And I'd like for us to look over the clause in that contract where I agreed to get it out the mud in everything that I do. Because clearly I agreed to getting it out the mud in everything that I do. And it's crazy to me. I'm tired, okay? And so I know that I come up here and I always am just like, you guys, I went through so much this year. But I did. I went through a lot this year. I've gone through a lot of things this year. And I've lost relationships that I thought I would have for the long time. Like, heartbreaking. I'm just going to sit with that for a second. I'm going to sit here with it because there are relationships that I had in my life at the beginning of this year that I started years ago, and I thought that they would, they would go until the end of time, at least the end of my time and the end of our time in these physical bodies. And that's not the case. That's not the case. And I don't even know if I would even want to rekindle that and come back into that space and come back into those spaces. It's not just one space, those spaces. But I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had. I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful for the lessons I've learned. I'm deeply grateful for the growth that I've had this year. It's been significant. It's been powerful. It's been life-changing. And I'm on a completely different path. The home that I was in at the beginning of this year, I don't live in that home anymore. I lost my home this year. But I also have had really great things happen. Like, for example, I'm in school now. I'm in school and I'm changing my career. I'm creating my career. I am building my community. I am loving. I am being loved. I am supported. I am deeply supported. I am cared for. I don't experience lack. And there are way more, like, there are things that I could have more of, and there are things that I can have in abundance, and that there's room for there to be more abundance in certain spaces in my life. But when it comes to what I need to get from day to day, to have my wit, to have my mind about me, and not feel like I'm going crazy all the time, I'm full of that. And there's room for way more, but I have that, and I am not without it. And I'm so deeply grateful for the things I've learned, for what I've been through, and for where I'm going, because I'm going up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up, and I'm so excited about that. But we're not here to talk about me. I mean, we can talk about me because this is MissTaylorSaid, and so we can talk about me if we want to. But we're going to continue with the book, okay? If you're just now joining us, which there's not anybody new in here, but we're not watching anything. Y'all are watching, but I'm reading. I'm reading Anxious to Please, 7 Revolutionary Practices for the Chronically Nice. So, the inner life of nice people, the inner world of a nice person, okay? While the external appearance of nice people is characterized by ingratiating compromise, their internal reality is quite different. Nice people suffer from persistent anxiety and fear that often lingers just out of their awareness, like the constant backache of the lifelong construction worker. This unsettled emotional baseline is the fount of nice behaviors. The emotional baseline of nice people: they believe that their safety and happiness depend on their ability to please the significant person in their life. They crave recognition and affirmation of their goodness. They're often troubled by romantic longings and obsessions. They use relationships to mask their inability to love themselves. They idealize others. They find their own happiness to be elusive and fleeting. They believe that they will never get what they really want. They often feel, oh God, I don't know who is feeling that right now, but I've just felt like this go on my throat when I read, they believe they will never get what they really want. You will. You will. And I'm going to tell it to myself in the mirror. You will. You will get what you really want. And you don't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise. You will get what you really want. Okay? And when we get through this book, we're going to know how to not only get what we really want, because this is not about manifesting, but this is about setting ourselves up to be the type of person that is not afraid to ask for what we want, that is not afraid to speak up for ourselves, that is not afraid to advocate for ourselves. Okay? We're going to do it together, and we're going to get through this book together. Okay? So let's do it. They often feel they have no control over their sexual fulfillment. They feel contempt for their own nice person traits and hate their need for love, affection, reassurance, and sex. So there's another story, another example up here. It says, every morning Sam goes to get his latte, and Sarah, the barista, always remembers how he likes it. She has a pretty smile, and if there aren't too many people around, she asks him how things are going. Sam adores Sarah, and for the last 2 years has wanted to ask her out on a date. Excuse me. I've been at school all day, y'all. Has wanted to ask her out on a date. Some days he imagines the beautiful relationship and rapturous sex that he is sure they would have. I don't like that. Sir, I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get having a fantasy in their head. You know what I'm saying? But, okay, whatever. Other days, he tortures himself with the rejection he anticipates. Some days, he skips his latte because he's so angry or disgusted with himself. Is this a book for incels? Hey, if this is a book for nice guys too, like nice guy, like I'm Mr. Nice Guy, why don't they ever pick the nice guy? If this is a book for them, this is a book for them too. You know? Let's find out. Now, listen, y'all, if this book starts going in a direction that does not align with my belief system and starts going in a direction of entitlement and all that stuff, I will throw the whole fucking book away. I will. All right? If this is incel propaganda, I will throw this whole damn book away. Understand me, because I am not trying to contribute to that conversation in this way. Okay? I will throw this whole fucking book away, and I have no problem saying that. And we'll start new on something else that makes sense. Okay? But anyway, because I ain't like that. I did not like that right there. Anyway, the damage of being a nice person. We tend to think of a nice person as a rather benign character, but the nice appearance of nice people masks the hurt that permeates both their emotional life and their relationships with others. Nice people suffer from frequent anxiety and depression, due in part to the constant neglect of their own needs. Their passive-aggressive behaviors and their difficulty asking for what they want serve to undermine relationships with friends and family members. Not surprisingly, over time, these patterns lead to a deadening of intimacy. Nice people are also prone to choosing partners who are not ready for intimacy. Most of the time, these partners are either nice people themselves or are on the other end of the scale, demanding, self-involved, manipulative, and domineering. Listen, Val, I'll throw the whole book away and it'll go in the trash. We'll have a book burning over here if this is incel propaganda. Believe you me, I will burn a book in a second if this ends up being, not in a second. I've never burned a book before, and I wouldn't really do that. But I don't want anyone else to have a book that's incel propaganda. This ain't no, you know those people. I'm not even gonna give them that type of energy. But you know those people that make them funky podcasts where they're just like, why can't women do this because we're so nice to them and I don't call them... I won't do it. I'm not. It's not happening. Anyway... I got Facebook up here and I got Instagram down here, and it's all of two people. There's one person hopping in and out on Facebook, but it's all of one person in here now. Yeah, they love to self-pity. It's the self-pity, like, why doesn't anyone like me? Ooh, I'm so nice to them. Why won't they date me? They won't date me. They'll go date the mean guy, the bad boy. And it's just like, baby, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Because it's just like, ultimately it boils down to, are you showing up as your authentic self? Are you showing up as you, or are you showing up as the person that you think women want? Are you showing up trying to do all the things that you think women want? Or are you being yourself? If you're being yourself and people are not gravitated towards you, I really don't want to be the one to break the news to you. But there's something you need to do. There's something that you need to evaluate within yourself. And that's what we're going to do with this book. So that's what we're doing. Okay. The damage that this causes. We tend to think of a nice person as a rather benign character, but the nice appearance of nice people masks the hurt that permeates both their emotional life and their relationships with others. Nice people suffer from frequent anxiety and depression due in part to the constant neglect of their own needs, because they neglect their own needs. Okay? Their passive-aggressive behaviors and their difficulty asking for what they want serve to undermine relationships with friends and family members. Not surprisingly, over time, these patterns lead to a deadening of intimacy. Nice people are also prone to choosing partners who are not ready for intimacy. Oh, they choose people that are not emotionally available. Most of the times, these partners are either nice people themselves or they are on the other end of the scale, demanding, self-involved, manipulative, and domineering. Sometimes the destruction emanating from the life of the nice person can reach severe levels. These outcomes can include eating disorders, substance abuse, self-mutilation, affairs, divorce, and even unaliving themselves. I'm not going to say the word, but even unaliving themselves. The hidden epidemic begins to appear. Sorry for yawning, y'all. I am, okay, we're going to finish this section and then we'll be done for today because I am sleepy, kind of, because I've been at school all day. The hidden epidemic begins to appear. A condition this serious should have a dramatic name, a tag that conveys the pervasive loss and heartache that is left in its wake. But the labels we have seem inadequate. Chronically nice, anxious to please, nice guy, nice girl syndrome. Even the technical term from the field of psychology is a bit vague. Adult anxious attachment. This is an epidemic with an identity problem. Why has this epidemic gone largely unnoticed? One major reason is that the condition is not usually regarded as a problem. The world is happy to have people who overfunction and doesn't mind that they are motivated by feelings of inadequacy. Talk about it. The world is happy to have people who overfunction and doesn't mind that they are motivated by feelings of inadequacy. This world benefits this capitalist society, this individualist society This individualistic society benefits from you not believing in yourself. This society benefits from you over functioning and trying too hard to make everyone else around you happy. This society benefits from you trying too fucking hard, bro. This society benefits. The world is happy to have a people who overfunction and doesn't mind that they are motivated by feelings of inadequacy. The worse you feel about yourself, the more this world benefits from it. Because guess what? That means you depend on their validation for you to know that you exist. You depend on them to say, yes, you're doing fine. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. You're okay. They benefit from you doing that. They benefit from that. They benefit from you not believing in yourself. Because then that means that you fall in line and you are just doing your best to make them feel better. That you are just doing your best and working to the bone to try to make sure that the world around them is more comfortable for them. And wouldn't it be a shame for you to come into this world and be in this world and be of this world with your beautiful spirit and your beautiful mind and your love and your emotions and your empathy and your care? Wouldn't it be a shame for you to have all of that, to possess all of it, and for it to be wasted because you don't have boundaries? And because you don't know how to draw a line in the sand that says, no, I'm not going to accommodate for you. I'm not going to go above and beyond to make you feel more comfortable at the detriment of myself. I have no problem, helping to make a situation more comfortable if it doesn't cost me my peace and my sanity. If it doesn't cost me my integrity and my dignity. We getting out of this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, y'all. Welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor said. We're not back. We're better. All right? All right? In fact, many avenues of society rely on the mechanisms of guilt, shame, and fear to manipulate people. And nice people are the ones most easily manipulated. Nice people themselves are also slow to recognize the damage in their own lives. It would be different if their anxiety appeared one day after a lifetime of confidence and peace. But nice people have felt this way their entire lives, and most have been denying or dismissing it since they were very young. They often live what Thoreau called lives of quiet desperation. Lives of quiet desperation. They are not so severely impaired that they cannot work or marry or function in normal society. They just aren't happy. And I'm going to pull over for a second because I know that a lot of these behaviors kind of fit under the idea of masking for people that are neurodivergent. But as a person that's also neurodivergent, we're going to get through this, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to make sure I acknowledge that sometimes people do these things because of their neurodiversities and because they're masking and they're trying to navigate the neurotypical world. But I think even with this, ridding ourselves of the nice person, the nice people persona or mask, it's a mask. This nice people thing is a mask in itself. So we're going to go through this and unmask. Okay? We're going to go through this and unmask. They felt this way their entire lives. They just aren't happy. Okay. Then there are people who have close relationships with a nice person. Spouses, lovers, friends, and siblings are in a complex and typically confusing position. They don't understand why they don't trust someone who is so nice, why they get so mad at someone who is so helpful. The relationship suffers and they don't really know why. Despite all of these factors, the epidemic is becoming more and more visible. In recent years, The cold air from the air conditioner is making me want to yawn. Excuse me, guys. In recent years, there has been a sharp increase in the attention paid to topics like assertiveness training and codependent relationships. Vast numbers of nice people are now trying empowerment seminars, martial arts instructions, survival skill courses, and inspirational guidance to help them figure out how to overcome the fear that undermines them. Men and women alike, and non-binaries, you know, I'm adding that in there because I'm adding myself in there. Men, women, and non-binary people alike are seeking to understand the dynamics that are affecting their relationships and their peace of mind. But there's a path for transformation, the path of transformation. Nice people yearn intensely for a life that is truly worth living. They ache for an abiding sense of belonging, for an inner peace that can last for longer than a few moments, and for authentic intimacy. They want to find a way to end the cycle of frustration and or despair. They long to create a rich and satisfying life. Ultimately, this book is not about being nice. It's about hope, healing, and transformation. Throughout this book, we use the term transforming person to describe a woman or man, a person, a human who is on the path from chronic niceness to a life of strength, strength, kindness, and extraordinary passion. The remarkable life of a transforming person includes satisfying relationships with both men, women, with men, women, and non-binary people. Fulfilling sex, solid sense of masculinity and femininity. I don't like that, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's feeling real binary. Anyway. A happier and calmer emotional life, and reality-based optimism for the future. Sorry, I'm yawning. We are reading, welcome to Reading what Miss Taylor Said. We are reading Anxious to Please, 7 Revolutionary Practices for the Chronically Nice. To the reader, it may seem unfathomable that her or his life, that their life can change so dramatically, but rest assured that others have done it, and many more are on the path to transforming their own lives. The tools for building this new life are the 7 practices presented in this book. But before employing these practices, we must understand how we became nice people in the first place. That is the end of the introduction. The next chapter, the first chapter, will be, section 1 is called Nice People. So we're going to go through and define what a nice person is and how they became to be. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sitting through my yawning. Hopefully next Wednesday next Wednesday is my birthday. So I will read a little bit on my birthday just because it's my show. And so we can celebrate my birthday up here. Next Wednesday is my birthday, but we'll be here at 6 o'clock. If we're not here at 6 o'clock, it'll be 7. Really, I would like to do it at 7. The only reason I did it at 6 this week is because I mistyped something. And so I created a reminder in Instagram that I couldn't figure out how to change. So we ended up doing this at 6 o'clock last week we did end up doing this at 6 o'clock today instead of 7, which is what I really wanted. And so I'll probably do it at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, just because that'll give me enough time to get home from school, eat, rest, get myself together, shower and all that stuff, and I won't have to rush. And I didn't have to rush today, but I'd like a little more me time to kind of rejuvenate after spending a day, practicing massage with my classmates and learning anatomy and physiology and kinesiology and all of that stuff. So I, just need a little time to decompress before I jump in to teaching and sharing and talking. But thank you all for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Thank you for, if you're here or if you're watching the replay, I appreciate all of y'all so, so much. And I'm so excited about Reading what Miss Taylor Said being back. We in here. We in here. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a great rest of your night. And I will see you next week for my birthday. Have a good night.